Buenos días y bienvenidos a todos. Good morning and welcome everyone. Welcome to a community dedicated to providing spiritual tools for living a happy and full life. And happy Thanksgiving to all my Canadian family, friends, and viewers. My name is Karina Shearer, and I am the spiritual director and founding minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta. If you would like to join us live on the Zoom meeting, please contact me for the link and password. Today is Sunday, October 10th, 2021, and we are continuing with our annual theme, which is Timeless Wisdom, Evolutionary Vision. And the topic for this month has been Going Further Together. The topic for this week is Share the Dream. So each week we open with a spiritual practice called Affirmative Prayer, also known as Spiritual Mind Treatment. And this is a powerful tool and a practical tool that shifts our consciousness so that we are open and available to accept the good that is already present in our life. It aligns our thoughts with all good. So let's move into today's service with intention, as we do each week, with a reading from Creative Thought magazine. And today I'll be reading from October 7, 2014. Just a reminder that spiritual mind treatment is always done in the first person. So I invite you to close your eyes and take these words as your own, if you so choose. God, the infinite invisible, is the irresistible force that is everywhere, equally, evenly present. I am created in the image and likeness of this indwelling source and live in close contact with its unending joy. Because it is my reason for being, I listen keenly to the promptings of its still, small voice. I move in accord with its directions and take my cues on the stage of life from its perfect guidance. Understanding that everyone is writing a unique script for his or her life, I am quick to applaud others' performances. I know that even when mistakes are made, God is behind the scenes and perfect outcomes are assured. My connection with source and substance of all that is my guarantee that I always perform at optimal levels and that my every act is motivated by my selfless love that forever blesses my world. Vibrating at the high frequency of divine love, I am a spiritual magnet that attracts only that which is resonant with its perfection and purity. I release my word to the law of mind, which follows my direction at every stage of being, and bow with gratitude as life joyfully applauds every act of love. And so it is. And that was submitted by Reverend John Scott from Kingston, Jamaica. And as we also do each week, let's review our purpose, vision, and mission statements. So we have a grand purpose here each week. And that is to awaken and celebrate diversity, and to love and serve our community. And we do this by means of our vision, which is to educate and support each other so we can create the life we desire that works for us right now. And this is supported by our mission, which is to provide spiritual tools for personal growth and transformation. And once again, I'd like to welcome everyone. Know that you are welcome here, that we are a diverse community, and we celebrate all walks of life, all paths, all religions, and know that you are on the perfect one right here and right now. We teach a philosophy called the science of mind, and it's a teaching based on new thought and ancient wisdom. We offer spiritual tools and principles to promote personal growth. And we've already shared one of these with our morning spiritual mind treatment. And like I mentioned earlier, we honor diversity in all aspects so that we can see and appreciate the great oneness that already exists everywhere and within everyone. When Dr. Ernest Holmes founded this teaching in the 1920s, he had studied both Eastern and Western spiritual texts to create the science of mind, which focuses on the use of thoughts and this powerful thing we call the mind. When asked to provide a concise definition of the science of mind teaching, he had replied that it is a correlation of laws of science, opinions of philosophy, and revelations of religion applied to human needs and aspirations. So each week we offer a service with inspirational message. In the past, this is being done at a restaurant in downtown Puerto Vallarta, but we are still required to wear masks outside our home. And with the buses not being able to get into that part of town, I will still continue to welcome you into my home via Zoom. Mi casa es su casa. But we do look forward to once again gathering to have our meetings in person, face to face, and to enjoy some one-on-one time together. And hopefully, we are working on a couple of different ideas in a more accessible area of town. So unfortunately, we weren't able to do that today, being our anniversary date, but this will be coming up shortly. And as we have been meeting on Sunday mornings lately, we will continue to do this on Sunday mornings when we meet again in person. So updated information will be on our website and our Facebook page, letting you know when and where we will be meeting in person. So if you have any comments or questions, please post them wherever it is that you are viewing, and I'll be sure to respond. Or if you'd like, you can send me a direct email. So for this week, our evolutionary vision is this. We envision a world where personal responsibility joins with social conscience in every area of the political, corporate, academic, and social sectors, providing sustainable structures to further the emerging global consciousness. And our timeless wisdom are from our values. Community service. We dedicate our time, talent, treasure, and expertise to the healthy and joyful evolution of our spiritual community, the community in which we live, and the greater community of the world. Continuous improvement. We consistently welcome more and more of the divine nature to realize within us and revealed through our relationships, our decisions, and our contributions to the world. An African proverb reminds us that alone we can go faster. Together, we can go further. As we near the end of our journey, we keep in mind the community that has brought us here. Together, as Centers for Spiritual Living, we work in harmony with one another, other faiths, and other peoples to envision a continually expanding world. We dig into these truths for the final push of this climb. Over the years, Centers for Spiritual Living has been expanding globally. We are currently in 30 countries, comprised of over 400 communities. We are uniquely situated to foster a global community and a world that works for everyone by sharing all the truths that we rely on. Where in our individual lives, centers, communities, and world can we embody hope and oneness? Where can we invite others along for the journey in a way that is radically loving and inclusive? Right where you are, wherever you are, welcome to our community. Ernest Holmes said that we are open at the top, with space for both dream and vision. And this means that we know fantasies can become reality when we choose to step into the void. It's easy to forget and take for granted in that whatever good we have already created in our lives. Life is asking us to deliver something still greater. We have to do more. Too often we mistrust our inspiration from the divine, entertaining both doubt and worry about what others might think. When we put spirit first and step into leading from there, we take positive action in our communities and create something truly evolutionary. While still in ministerial school, we were asked to consider expanding our personal vision in order to take this teaching out into the world. Expand our horizons. Can you imagine moving to a new country that speaks a different language? When most people first heard of my plans to move in Mexico, I was greeted with a variety of responses, but often heard the questions: have you ever lived in Mexico? And do you speak Spanish? They thought I was either very naive or very brave. Yet this week, we celebrate our 4th anniversary here in Puerto Vallarta. So what dreams or visions do you have that you are creating and manifesting? We must be willing to let go of where we are in order to arrive at our next destination and allow ourselves to grow and expand. Have faith and allow the divine to do its thing. Ernest Holmes said this: the tree is not a person. All it does is to depend on nature. All it knows is to grow. So it never short circuits the divine energy that gives it life. Our internal state of mind influences those around us. And Ernest Holmes frequently said that we are each a spiritual broadcasting station. And so when we exhibit our healing energy, knowing the unified spiritual truth of all, we are doing our part in healing everywhere. And this is being proven as well in the medical sphere, where doctors who are in tune with themselves more successfully assist others in drawing on their own healing power, according to Parker Palmer, who is an educator and author. The result is that many medical schools are now making this a part of their doctor-patient relationship as a regular part of the physician's preparation. And Ernest Holmes wrote this in The Science of Mind. Things exist in the universal mind as ideas. Ideas take form and become things in the concrete or the visible world. Thought calls forth from the universal into expression. So I'm sure that most of you have heard or perhaps seen some memes on Facebook that Captain James T. Kirk is boldly going into space, for real this time. William Shatner, who played Captain Kirk in Star Trek, will see a dream come true in the next week when he travels to the edge of the cosmos aboard Jeff Bezos' spaceship, Blue Origin. The 90-year-old actor will become the oldest person to make the voyage into space. And I've heard about space, this is what he said, I've heard about space for a long time. What a miracle to see it for myself. Imagine back in the 1960s, Star Trek was just a fantasy, voyaging into space where no man has gone before. But we can all voyage into the final frontier, boldly going where no one has gone before, or doing what no one has done before. Visualize and make it so. Marianne Williamson said, visualize the most amazing life imaginable to you. Close your eyes and see it clearly for as long as you can. And now place that vision in God's hands and consider it done. In his essay, Self-Reliance, Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote this: nothing is at last sacred but the integrity of your own mind. Absolve you to yourself, and you shall have the suffrage of the world. One of the most important values we have is to see the oneness in everyone. And this means not only thinking we are one, but living as one. When we acknowledge and recognize the diversity of our own spiritual communities by bringing together elders with youth, Black and white, LGBT and straight, and work collectively on projects, we become witnesses to the greater light that shines through. This visceral exchange changes us. A recent psychological study showed that even holding a soccer game with mixed Christians and Muslim teams back in the 1920s, last year, helped to shift the thinking in small ways. For example, after 2 months of playing in the mixed league, 61% of the Christian players agreed to register for the mixed league the following year. And after 6 months, 61% were still training with their Muslim teammates at least once a week. It was a positive start. And positive interactions among rival groups can produce prejudices. Whether we are taking action within our spiritual community or creating opportunities for our larger community to come together, we are not only creating, but we are demonstrating a world that works for everyone. And must go back. I said that positive interactions among member groups can cause prejudices, but in reality, they reduce prejudices. So I just wanted to be clear on that. So go out and make a friend with someone that you normally wouldn't, or do some friendly gesture, or just be in community with others that are dissimilar from you and start making a difference. In the tragic play Faust, Part 2, Johann Wolfgang van Goethe wrote this: "He only earns his freedom and existence who daily conquers them anew." So we must be willing to step out of what we know into that unknown to make a change. And fear often rushes in when we begin to dream of a new world, a new experience. We begin to question our God-given intuition, reminding ourselves of the biblical story of Elijah and Elisha. We can recall that our intuition, our dream, is spirit-led and a call for us to take on the cloak of responsibility. In the Bible, a prophet named Elijah left his cloak behind when he ascended to heaven. And a new prophet named Elisha picked up this mantle to wear and also took over Elijah's role as prophet. And this can also be seen as a transmission of the light. We are being asked to step into our own greatness, to create and evolve. Or as Ernest Holmes says, be open at the top. In so doing, we take up the mantle and lift our community conversation to a higher level. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, a Swiss-American psychiatrist, author, and pioneer in New Death studies, said this: "It is only when we truly know and understand that we have a limited time on earth that we will begin to live each day to the fullest, as if it was the only one we had." So make every day a great day. We are personally responsible for how the world around us is. And when each of us takes up the mantle, shines our light, we do our part to move the world to a higher expression of spirit through our actions. And the alchemist, Paulo Coelho, wrote this: "There is only one thing that makes a dream impossible to achieve: the fear of failure." So feel the fear and do it anyways. And that brings us to our affirmation for today. My dreams are the stuff of spirit ourself. It's of spirit itself, which leads us to our final, our ending. So thank you for joining us today, and know that all of your donations are greatly received through PayPal on our website or by mailing in a check to www.cslpv.org. Or your check can be addressed and sent to CSLPV number 403 2125 Birch Road, Kelowna, BC, B1Y8N1. And we rely on your donations to continue the Center for Spiritual Living here in Puerto Vallarta. So if you are enjoying this as your spiritual home, please consider to make a donation, whatever you're able to give in circulation. And so with that, if you would like to join me in our offertory affirmation, I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I do give eternal thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. So if you would like to have a one-on-one connection for spiritual mind treatment to assist you with whatever you are experiencing in life, please connect with me. And if you would like to commit to being a member of the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta for this year and the upcoming year, or if you would like to become a board of trustees, please contact me so that you can receive the current form. And I'd also like to remind you to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook page. And let's continue practicing peace. We can each be a force for peace and nonviolence. Our words and our actions can create ripples of peace all around us and beyond. And peaceful living includes acting with compassion, kindness, and consideration. And it also includes standing up against injustice. May peace and love be with you. So thank you for coming and sharing this time together. Peace and blessings to all. Namaste.